that I work on my ideas and try to find a way of always have like some skeletons for Latin.
Okay.
Without you having to think about the clave as much, because I know sometimes clave could really intimidate somebody, and you feel like you're obliged to. So there's a couple ways I've worked around it.
Mm-hmm.
One of the hardest ones and the most funkiest is doing offbeats. It comes from this style from Cuba called changui, and it's one of the hippest styles out there. But it's a lot of the rhythmic forces are all offbeats.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what we were doing before. 1 and 3.
Okay.
4 and.
Yeah.
So I'll work on that with the metronome. That was really nice.
Should I turn on? Okay.
You have metronome?
I've got it on my phone too. Here. Oh wait, it's in my pocket.
We got it. That's good. That's a good tempo right there.
Okay.
Cool. Could be 4 though. A little faster. That's good. So you could either think of it as starting on the end of 1 or the end of 4.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay. That's the end of 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And it's all off beats. Okay. Get hands.
Right? And then, so I broke it up.
Okay.
So there's a couple ways of doing it. I like to break up the chord, but the most simple way I do it is. Now I'm gonna do it on the end of 1, 3, 4.
What was that last note you played on? Okay.
Resolving on the end of 3.
Okay.
Just a trick to, I'm not a trick, but just to give it a different feel. So let's say we do apply it into a little bit faster tempo. And then you can start messing around with where you want to flow. Where do you want to, like, I guess, take someone by for a spin?
Okay.
So that's kind of like what I was doing before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and your 1 is where exactly?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Man, that's cool. For someone who knows very, very little about anything Latin piano, that's very challenging to keep track of.
It's that what I've had this problem too is I mean you could go about it a different way. Like I've worked on actually holding out the notes. Because I've always noticed that if I sustain it, then I could hear the rhythmic more, the rhythm in between. So if I play it 3, 4, give me the pulse again. Can I play this? Like that, it's a little easier. Because now you could hear, okay, you can start hearing the ghost notes in between. But this is a lot harder. 3, 4.
I can't even.
You know,
Is there?
that sustain.
Yeah, it like carries it through.
Oh
and makes
man,
it even more deceptive.
It's hard. It's hard. So I worked on that with the metronome really slow, just so that I could feel, you know, what's going on, and I could learn how to just sit, because I know, coming from like playing soul music, as you would know, it's a lot of padding. And how do you, you know what I mean? What you're doing, like how do you make it flow? And I love that flow from jazz and R&B, so I try to incorporate that in my Latin stuff too.
Yeah. But then, like, having it flow, but have it be perfectly syncopated.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes, especially with Latin music, because Latin players, you know, it's not like pocket playing where we either sit on the groove or we chill behind it, give it that booty. Latin is really on top.
Totally. No, I was feeling it almost like creeping up to my quarter note when you were playing on the offbeats. Like, it's really hard for me to, like, keep it precise in my own head.
I also have a tendency to play a little bit behind. Okay. Because the people that I play with in New York are they're like the older school guys who did all the classic sessions, and their feel is just always, just sit on that groove. Sit on that groove.
Yeah, I mean, you hear some of the, like, especially the old jazz recordings, like the Blue Note recordings and things, it's like so pulled back.
Dexter
like,
Gordon.
Oh yeah, man. Like,
you know what I mean?
I know. That's cool. And you do, on the bass line, you just do the, like
that's definitely. So there's the Cuban style. Okay. There's a style called timba, which is way more rhythmic. That's like, this is like salsa, Afro-Cuban, like old school. Okay. You know, salsa more Puerto Rican, so it's more like Guajira in Cuba.
And what you were doing up there, was that for salsa?
No, that's more the Cuban end.
Okay.
But I still do it in my salsa playing, like when it comes to commercial music, because it's cool. You know what I mean? It's like a way of flipping something out. It's like I use it as a tool to ignite somebody. Like if I'm playing and I'm like, this is getting a little stale, I'm just gonna toss this into this little field just so I can be like, oh, what was that? And let's get back in the groove.
Okay, so what's the Cuban bass line that you would play then?
You could do. I mean, there's so many. I'm not a Cuban expert, but I would. There's so many. Like the rhythmic component is. So they'll do. Could be something like.
Woo! Yeah, I recognize that for sure.
There you go. Yeah.
Deciding where to put
so
those,
it all so the deciding factor, I'm just kind of going off of like some of the rules, like what would fit, and sometimes they all depend on the percussion. So I think, let's say the more simple group that I would do, this used to be the old timba, like 1 2 3 4 1. You know, but now it's progressed so much that sometimes they'll just do like.
Picked up from what you were doing before, but just like all off beats.
That's it.
Killing, man.
Now play the bass line you were playing before.
Okay. that fucks me up immediately.
Let's vibe.
Okay, cool.
3, 4. So no, but when I go on the ends, don't follow me.
Okay.
Cause I know what it is. It's this like when I do that.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're supposed to rub off of each other.
Okay. Cool.
And that's always happening.
Man, wow.
And then all this is where all the classical stuff comes in, all your background, because then you start doing all these kind of tricks like how do you do all that stuff, or and then you can start really having fun, or even like some, you know what I mean? So like. I'm trying to think of all these little tricks you can do. Obviously, I wouldn't do it on a live gig all the time. I'll find a groove.
Find the groove and then stick with it for a little bit. But then to like take it in different directions.
To have the facility to do it, yeah, you have to create all these little exercises. So I've actually worked this stuff out. Like I'll do. This is really important too that I've noticed, like in modern timbre playing, like so. There was a point when you could play like a lot of 3-note stuff. This pianist, the producer for Mark Anthony, called Sergio George, he would play a lot like 3 notes. 3 notes here, and then shell voicings here, or even sometimes 2 notes. But now I have my friend from New York, Axel, a great pianist. I was watching the way he would play, and he would play a lot like this and open up the chords. So and then that leaves room for rhythm.
Yeah.
You know, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what I mean? All kind of like, or all these little tricks you do. But like at the end of the day, it was like, how can I get
open it up? And then because that's what I'm normally doing. I mean, with the stuff that I'm playing, it's all like big open voicings. But the rhythmic component in what you're playing, I think, would play into that a lot. But this isn't big and open. Like I'll be playing like that, like those sorts of voicings. Can that, are you using like
sometimes
ninths and tenths in your?
Sometimes, yeah. What was that chord change you just did?
I mean, well, this is one of my favorites. Like I'm using gospel with stacked fits.
Yeah. I think about
that's one. That's I mean.
So I think in commercial playing, I mean, you could possibly do it if you're trying to do more of a jazz creative thing. So you could probably do like. Something. I mean, it depends. If you want to get creative, you could probably find all these ways of doing it. So I think all depends. You could. There's no right or wrong.
Yeah, that's cool though.
There's no right or wrong. I think as long as you have the if your rhythmic game is strong enough that you know where you could go in and out, and how to really how to make your montuno sound heavy, you're good. I feel as long as you have this, this is like one of my, I guess, the formulas is just always out, in.
Yeah.
That should kind of be like the protocol. Out, in, out, in. So I think, yeah. And I would make it. I've actually made it like an exercise when I was first starting out. Just do octave and then chord in, octave, chord, or.
That first thing you showed me, I can do it as I can do that as an exercise, like that
Yeah.
one, all on off beats.
Oh yeah. So. This phrase, and then now keep it going. I'm gonna do it starting on the end of one. No, don't follow me.
Put the fucking metronome on or something.
No, you got it. It's dope.
Right, cool.
Don't follow me.
I'm trying, man. Like, that syncopation is challenging.
Do it again.
Shit. All right.
Start it.
All right. This is why I like doing this, because now once you have, when you have the off beats that you feel comfortable, this is where you can start like going back and forth and filling it up more. So like 3, 4, like. So you can start figuring out where the cracks are. Yeah.
And I always try to keep it always on the up, because when you're up on the up beats, it pushes the band more. It's just like, because they have to come under.
Yeah.
So they have to land on that one hard.
Yeah.
So it's like this constant tug and pull.
That's incredible. How long have you been playing Latin music?
I
mean, it's what you started out with, right? You were saying it was like your
early on in my career,
your primary.
When I was like in my teens, I really got into Latin music, and sheesh, 30. I'm gonna be 29. Well, I'm 29 now, so it's 15 years. You know, listening to it and loving it, figuring out what makes it work and how I can apply it in my playing.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna shed on this stuff that you're showing me, and hopefully next time you'll come over and not kick my ass so badly.
Oh,
in
Jesus
the rhythms.
Christ, definitely not, bro. Never.
Thanks,
Never.
man.